Emotional blind spots in relationships are difficult. They usually cause lack of trust and the relationship to just erode. I'm sure we've all had that relationship where it was just felt perfect and you were so connected on so many levels, and there was so much respect for the other person, and everything's just feeling real good, and then all of a sudden fear kicks in. Emotionally, you get too close, you feel out of control with your emotions, you can't help loving this person. You start to feel like you're losing yourself to her, him, whoever in the relationship, and you panic, and it's this emotional blind spot reaction. And you're either going to push away or you're going to pull back. And I've been on both sides. I've had the emotional blind spot that I did not see, that somebody else did. And when they called me out on it, I didn't take it as well as I should, because I didn't see it. They caught me off guard. They saw a part of me that I hadn't seen before. And it just felt very, very exposed. I've gotten better over the years of seeing what my reactions are and knowing why they are, and I've also gotten better at seeing the other person's reaction and not taking it personally. I used to take it personally, like, why are they pulling back, or why are they pushing away? What's wrong with me? Why did they have to do this? And what I realize now is that they're just in a defensive place of fear. And this is their emotional blind spot reaction. And it's the tools they use to protect themselves, to feel safe when emotionally they feel out of control and overwhelmed with powerful emotions. I don't think we know how to have that conversation in a healthy way. I don't want anybody to change who they are because I'm uncomfortable. What I want is to have a conversation to explain why I'm uncomfortable. But being a man, I feel like I don't have that right, because I'm not allowed to show weakness. I'm not allowed to have wants and needs. I just have to take what's given and then make a decision based on what's being given to me or taken away. I can't speak for women. I'm sure it's probably similar on the other side. I just can't possibly know how it is on that end. So how do you have that conversation? How do you tell somebody, listen, I see this going on, I'm losing trust, and it's eroding our relationship. I know you're not doing it on purpose. I understand it's a fear response, but emotionally, I'm not going to be able to handle this going forward, month after month, year after year. Like, it has to be resolved. Otherwise, we're going to passively aggressively work around it, and then everything that we've had up to this point is just going to go away. And it's too good to let this go away. So recently I've tried to be better at explaining my position, but it feels really hard to say that your reaction makes me uncomfortable, and can we find a way to work through this, because that is giving somebody else all the power. They know what is like my kryptonite, what crumbles me, what makes me weak, and you don't want to hand that to anybody. But you have to have the conversation. What's the alternative? I just start to shut down and then just slowly let it erode and let me just, have this relationship be like a rerun of every other relationship I ever have, where it never changes and it begins, starts, and ends the same way because I'm too chicken shit to have this conversation. I know the response I want. I know the result I want going in. I want to work through it. I want us to come to an understanding, to get through it. But I think sometimes going in wanting a specific response or outcome puts a lot of pressure on getting it done instead of letting it unfold. I guess everybody has to be, whoever you're with has to be on that same vulnerability level. You got to be at the same place with vulnerability, because if I can only go down to the first floor and she can go down to the basement, she's going to need me to go down to her level where she is so that we can have this conversation. One person being vulnerable all the time more than somebody else is going to keep that relationship out of balance. It's feeling safe enough with yourself and safe enough with the person you're with to be able to go into that vulnerable place to have these difficult conversations. Otherwise, it's just going to repeat the pattern. If she pushes away and then I pull back and then we slowly come together and then we get too close and it happens again and again and again and again, and that pattern keeps repeating, at some point you either have to get through it or you have to end it. And those are the tough conversations to have. I wish I was better at it, because I would have saved myself a lot of heartache and definitely saved other people a lot of heartache. And we all want the same thing. We just want somebody to love and accept us as we are and work together through the differences, because we all came from a different place, we all have different experiences, and we all have different interpretations of things. And if I'm fighting hard to hold my independence with something that makes you feel disrespected or uncomfortable, I need to look at that. But if I don't know what's happening, somebody needs to bring it to my attention. And that's a tough place to be. So try to find those emotional triggers and blind spots and free yourself from them, because life will definitely get easier. All right, hope you're having a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.